Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I am Mike, your host. I'm here with my buddy Lance. We're going to sit here and talk about some WWE Monday Night Raw from last night. How's it going, Lance?
Good. Nice and warm here up in Canada.
Yeah, we're in the 50s here today. It's a little chilly. It had been warmer.
I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but it's about 15 here, so I think that's probably about 65, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. So, what did you think of Raw for it being the go home show for Mania?
It was an okay Raw, but for going into WrestleMania, it was kind of, expecting more.
I agree.
But they started off with the Taker thing, and it was kind of hard to go from there. Start with your best. And
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about, where they started the show when the Undertaker cutting his promo and Shane doing his thing, and then them getting in their little fight. And what's funny is I watched the replay of Shane doing his like 15. That's had to be 15 feet that he jumped, which is
easily.
which is freaking crazy at his age when you think about it.
Must
I don't think he really hit like he missed him. It looked like on the replay.
Yeah, I think his arm kind of hit him a bit. It was because I've seen a few replays, and the WWE replays they don't really show it, but you see the ones online, and there looks like he kind of was a little short, but like you said, that's a long way to go.
And then the other thing that was funny was didn't hit him, but I think he bounced he hit that monitor and it whacked Taker in the face because you saw he was like cut on the side of his eye.
Oh, that's where he got it. Yeah, looked like he was crying blood.
I was like, what the hell happened? And then I looked at it again and I was like, oh, that's what happened.
Well, if he didn't get him, he hurt him somehow, so it all worked out.
Yeah, well, and that was really cool how it came off, like to set the tone for the show. To have Shane do that crazy ass dive to get people excited for the match.
Yeah, I'm wondering how's he going to top that at in the Hell in the Cell. He's obviously going to maybe do that off the top. That'd be
I don't know. I said, because every other podcast is talking, oh, he's going to jump off the cell. He's going to jump off the cell. All I'm going to say is he's going to take one crazy bump. That's all I know.
oh, of course, he always does, doesn't he? That's one great thing about Shane, and I'll give him credit for that. He takes Mick Foley type bumps, and being the boss's son, he doesn't have to do any of that stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say he doesn't have to. When I always think of Shane, I think of that insane bump he took off the top of the Titantron.
Yeah, onto the Big Show,
Oh,
or crazy, or when Angle threw him through the glass.
and they put the
At the
wrong glass in.
well, I think Angle threw him through the wrong one. And then they threw him through the other one. I'm not exactly sure how that went, but yeah, the first one it was like thud. Oh,
I remember watching that and I said, oh my God, I thought he broke his neck.
yeah, you looked like he was definitely was supposed to go through the first time. That was a while ago, so I can't quite remember it
Oh,
totally.
yeah,
But
that's been a good, God, at least 10 years.
it was that long, yeah. Well, Angle's has been in TNA for about 10 years, hasn't he? So
It was probably like
about
02,
8 years.
somewhere in there.
I have no clue. Like,
I'm just guesstimating because I don't really remember, but I remember he got really cut up from that.
yeah, well, glass, it's or plastic or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was wild. But like you said, dude, Shane doesn't have to do that stuff, and so I give him credit for always willing to pull it all out for the fans.
Well, that Titantron one was just crazy. It's like he had to be 30, 40 feet up there.
Yeah,
It was at the top of the arena.
wasn't there another one that he did like with Steve Blackman where Blackman like hit him and he fell backwards like 30 feet in the air?
I can't remember. I remember something like that.
I don't know if it was that
Yeah,
high, but it was some kind of crazy bump.
yeah. Because the one with the Big Show there, the test was down there waiting just in case he was a little off. He was kind of the safety net to catch Shane.
Yeah,
Hold on.
that was crazy.
I had to kick my damn cat out. He was sitting here whining at me. So
No, you're fine, dude.
no, he wanted out, so I had to let him out. My headset's got no cords, so
It's all good. Let's move on.
Yeah.
The next one we had was Chris Jericho versus Zack Ryder. Holy crap, a Zack Ryder Raw sighting.
I called that right off the bat too. I said Ryder's gonna win, AJ's gonna come out, AJ Styles distract him, and Ryder's gonna win. And
Yeah,
sure enough,
I'm actually happy for Zack Ryder because he was on Raw 2 weeks in a row, and he's going to be in a big time Mania match, so he's going to get a nice Mania check.
yeah, and he is a good wrestler. I don't mind him. He's just had bad luck with people.
Yeah, well, you mess with Cena, that's the kiss of death.
Well, they must have forgiven him because they gave him a win. What's that? The first one in like 4 years, maybe 3 years.
Before that, yeah, you remember the last time he won on Raw? They did that. They're like, "Oh, Zack Ryder finally won on Raw for the first time since whenever." I'm like, "Dear God."
Yeah, wasn't he one of the Edges? Like Edges, fake Edges? Remember they had two guys come out looking like Edge?
I think you're right. I forget who the other guy was, but I'm pretty sure it was Zack Ryder.
Yeah. Oh, what's the other guy's name? It's right on the tip of my tongue. No biggie.
It'll come to you eventually. But I thought this was okay because it kind of set up the whole Styles Jericho match for Mania.
Yeah, and also maybe Ryder will win that match. Yeah, right. Cold day in hell when that happens.
I'm curious to see how the fans are actually going to react to him when he comes out at WrestleMania.
He get a good cheer. He always does.
Yeah, that's the same thing I thought. He would get a pretty decent pop. All right. Next it was Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. This was the one when Sasha Banks she wasn't on commentary. She was just out at ringside.
It's an okay match, just kind of ended all screwy.
Yeah, the ending was weird. How like Flair came out of nowhere and messed with Becky Lynch to help her lose. I really thought they were going to let Becky beat her, kind of like how Sasha beat her on SmackDown, to kind of say, oh, well, see, they both beat her, 1, 2, 3 before the match, so anything can happen,
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Maybe she might win, because out of the three girls, she's obviously the one that probably isn't gonna win.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that's the reason they made her lose so she can win on Mania. But I can't see her winning at Mania.
I can't either. I really think this is like the coronation of Sasha Banks, so to speak.
Could be. It'll be worth it. She's definitely the best diva, I guess they call it.
Oh, I hate that term.
Yeah.
Because Snoop is going to be there. He's going to be, and that's his cousin.
Oh, that's right, isn't it? Yeah.
Because he's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, so it all kind of makes sense.
Oh, does he come out and interfere with Ric Flair somehow?
That's what I'm thinking. I hope not, because I got in an argument about this on a message board where Snoop doesn't need to come. Like, they don't need to do this fluff stuff with the girls anymore. The match can stand, on its own without that.
Yeah, I agree. I would like to see them give them a 20, maybe even 30-minute match and have a clean winner.
Yeah, I think
they deserve it. They're great. They deserve
I think they're going to give them a lot of time, because the rumor I read before I got on here was they're going to have 3 pre-show matches.
3 pre-show? Oh, man.
There's only one I'm interested in seeing.
What's that? The Royal Rumble?
Yeah, the Battle Royal. The others I could care.
The Battle Royal.
Yeah, I could care less about. I mean, the other
What's the? Oh,
one's
I know the other one's the other girls. I think.
yeah, the other girls, and then the other one is the Dudleys and the Usos.
Uh, well, at least they'll get people watching the pre-show.
Yeah, because down here they're gonna have, like I told you on USA, they're gonna have the last hour of the pre-show is on USA.
That's probably how their selling point. The whole last 20 minutes of that show is going to be, you can get WrestleMania for free
Yeah, and then it's only
on the net.
$9.99.
$11.99 up here.
Is it really?
Well, I pay. I still go. I got it when it came out
Yeah.
in Canada. I did the old cheat thing. I had to use an American address, and so I had to pay American exchange rate. But I haven't paid for it in 6 months now.
Yeah, I remember
My
you telling me
WWE net, and they haven't cut me off.
That's wild.
And another funny thing is, this when I had it a while back, they double billed me.
Yeah,
so I sent them an email saying, "Hey, you double billed me," and I got 3 emails back from 3 different people saying sorry with 3 different refunds.
Wow.
They really got their. No wonder they're losing money.
I had a problem, and you might remember this. This has been months ago, where it wouldn't load for me on Google Chrome.
Yeah, I had that problem too for a bit.
So I
hit and miss.
Yeah, so I called like one of their techie people, and they were like, "Well, see if it works on Internet Explorer." Well, it worked fine on Internet Explorer, so I had to use Internet Explorer for a while. And then just one day, months later, by chance, I said, "Oh, well, let me see if it works on Chrome." And I tried it, and it's worked ever since.
Nice, yeah. I always just use Chrome. It's what I use.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving on. After that, we had the promo with Vince and Shane backstage when Renee Young was interviewing him.
Oh, Vince is starting to look his age now.
Ooh, God, is he?
He looked like Richard Nixon. And he's mumbling and he's talking. It's like,
well,
can't hear you, Vince.
I think they've learned to keep him out of the ring after he botched those 2 spots really bad.
Well, he is pushing, what, 70? 70? Did he just have his 70th birthday?
Yeah, I think he's a little older than 70, but you know what I mean, where it's like, you really shouldn't be in the ring at that age.
No, he like you see him, he's very fit, but doesn't mean just because you look good doesn't mean your body is actually good. And 70, no matter who you are, 70 years old, you shouldn't be taking bumps.
No, that reminds me of the one when he pushed Shane into the Undertaker to choke slam him, and he went to like run away, and how like awkwardly he like ran and like fell out of the ring.
At least he didn't blow his quads.
It was funny because I was watching it again earlier, and he just looked so like he did a big belly flop outside of the ring.
Yeah. He meant to do that, though. He meant to do it.
It just made me laugh because it was just like so awkward.
Well, he's always been awkward, but that was kind of the funny thing about it. He was so awkward. Like when Stone Cold gave him the stunner, and it was like, oh my God, that's the worst stunner I ever seen, but it's still the best I've ever seen because it was so bad.
Yeah, because he couldn't sell him for shit.
Well, he's not a trained wrestler, right?
So, no. He just kind of makes it up as he goes.
Well, he can, That's part of his character too, right?
Yeah.
The Mr. McMahon character.
Yeah, you got a point. All right, next we had. Thank God this was quick. We had Kane and the Big Show against Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas.
Oh yeah. Just a filler match.
Yeah, this was just, remember, it was the quick DQ where all the social outcasts just came and started beating up Kane and Big Show, and then I'm assuming everyone that's going to be in the Battle Royal came out and started fighting.
Yeah, that's obviously what they did. And some of the guys that came out there, it's like, oh, they have no chance. The only people that are going to win is either Big Show or Kane. It's
They
obvious.
even threw Sandow out there. I was like,
Was
holy
he out
crap.
there?
Yeah,
I missed that.
yeah, I saw I saw it because it was like the really bright pink purple color pants.
Oh yeah. He really, yeah, I wouldn't mind him winning, but you know how they feel about him for some reason. I always liked him.
I know, and I don't understand what the deal is with him.
I have no clue. Yeah,
Because remember, he was the last guy to get eliminated last year in the Battle Royal. We all thought he was going to win.
yeah, and he, they gave him some of the worst gimmicks in the world, and he turned them into gold.
Yeah, especially him and poor Axel when they did the.
Oh, I didn't like that. That I didn't like, but the crowd did, so obviously it worked.
That's what I was going to say. I thought they did the best they could with that, but I felt bad for them because it was just almost like, here, we'll just throw you a bone. You know what I mean?
And being another wrestler, it's like I'm I'm Hulk Hogan now. I'm Macho Man now. It just it's goofy to me. Like when I was a kid, they had a wrestling company in Vancouver, and they would tour around, and they had a TV show, and all they would do, they would have a guy that looked like King Kong Bundy, and they'd call him King Kong Bundy Jr.
Oh
Or they
my
had a guy
God.
that looked like Andre the Giant, they'd call him Andre the Giant Jr. They had a guy that looked like Ted DiBiase, they called him Ted DiBiase Jr.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and there was basically watching yeah, and they fooled a lot of people. They'd come to town, and my friends would be, "Hey, King Kong Bundy's coming." I go, "No, he's not. Why would he come to Princeton in front of 20 people? He's wrestling Hogan in me."
Yeah, in front of like 20,000 people.
Yeah, sure enough, here comes King Kong Bundy Jr., bald-headed fat guy. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. What I don't know if I ever told you this. Bundy actually owns a wrestling school like 45 minutes from where I live.
Oh, cool. I always liked King Kong Bundy. Is he in the Hall of Fame? I don't think he is he?
No, and I've met him a couple times. He's a really nice guy.
He just obviously plays the villain.
Yeah.
I always liked him and Big John Studd. I thought that was a great team back in the
Yes.
day.
All right. Next, we had Triple H and Stephanie come out and cut his little promo where Roman's not going to get the title and all that nonsense. And then Roman came out to one of the biggest boos of the night.
Oh no, they loved him on TV.
Yeah.
I seen somebody post on the Facebook, and they got him coming in the ring, and it's just boo. But on TV, I didn't hear no boos. Hate how they do that. They
Oh,
obviously have it all ready to go too, because they know.
oh yeah, Rygal. I was talking to Rygal earlier. He said he was like literally booed out of the building.
And you know,
And
it's not his fault. It's really sucks because it's poor Roman. He's put in this situation,
yeah,
and I like him. I actually like him. I just don't like him being shoved down my throat as Cena too.
exactly.
And
And the bad booking is another thing. So they've really screwed him.
Vince is stuck in the '80s, but you would think Triple H would have a little more say in that since it's his angle. You would think they would just have Roman just say "fuck you" to the crowd. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I swore.
No, you're
But
fine.
okay, and make Triple H the good guy. Because
Yeah,
obviously they want to cheer him and boo Roman.
because
You got to do it.
what exactly happened last night was as soon as Roman would get offense and they boo, and then as soon as Triple H did something, they overwhelmingly cheered.
Yeah. And they're trying so hard to make everybody love Roman and hate Triple H, but it's just not working. It's like back in the day when people were cheering Stone Cold and booing Bret Hart. It's like it's not working, and they were smart enough to flip it back then.
Yeah, I think he's just
And look what
as
happened.
yeah, and I think it's just he's being stubborn as he's gotten older. Where I'm going to make this work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might take me 10 years.
Yeah,
And,
Oh, but
It's
the other thing I read that was interesting, like, because the Philly crowd was dead last week, and from what I was reading, the WWE officials were shocked that he wasn't booed as much, Roman, but that they felt the crowd was, what was the word they used? Apathetic, where they just didn't give a shit.
which is worse.
Yeah,
Yeah, like we said last show, Philly, they're always crazy crowd. They're one of the top places they go to. They know if they go to Philly, they're going to get the crowd.
that's
But
why.
like you said, they didn't
Yeah,
get cheered. They didn't get booed. They just had people sitting there going, oh, when's this going to be over?
and that, like you said, that's the worst possible thing you could get.
Yeah, they want to get cheered or booed. When you get nothing, that's, oh, well, time.
All
Go get some
right.
popcorn.
Yeah. Next, we had Kofi versus Del Rio. This wasn't a bad match.
No, it's not. I always liked Kofi. I liked him since day one, and I'm glad he's getting something now.
Yeah, because
And
they held him down for a long time.
well, he was jobber of the month every week, every month,
Yeah.
and he's a great wrestler. You know,
And
the only thing you got out of him every year was the goofy thing he would do at the Royal Rumble.
or if they threw him in the Money in the Bank ladder match, the goofy thing he did in
Yeah,
that.
that's you see what he's up to. But he's that team's working good. They're getting cheered.
And they weren't as bad last night with the shtick.
No, they weren't. They they weren't so corny. Like obviously wrestling, funny. They always have the funny people. They have to. Sometimes they're just too cornball.
Yeah,
Like
the last few weeks it was bad. Like the Sheamus thing, like was funny where there was Sheamus, but some of those other ones were pretty bad.
making fun of somebody's feet. It's like,
Yeah.
haha. Well, that's not funny.
I guess they're trying to appeal to kids and stuff that think that's funny.
They must have the John Cena script writer do joke writer for those jokes.
Ooh, my God. And Kofi won this match. The only other interesting thing that came out of this was at the end, Coach came out.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I didn't see that coming. Pumping I guess ESPN going to be there, going to be on mainstream TV, which is good for
I
WWE
was going to say that's really big for them.
because they never, mainstream TV treats WWE as a joke,
Yeah.
especially sports, right?
Yeah,
But
it's interesting because now they have like some kind of deal with ESPN where there's a guy, either a guy or girl, that does an interview on WWE television, or excuse me, ESPN Sports Center once a week.
oh, that's actually quite impressive for
I know,
because
and
ESPN they're the top sports channel, aren't they in America?
yes,
Because we got TSN up here, obviously, and
yeah, like I'll give you an example. This week they're supposed to have somebody on ESPN, at least one WWE person every day. Like yesterday, Brock was on in the morning, I believe, and then Stephanie was on today.
okay,
So I
I
was
might
like,
look into that.
yeah. So I was like, that's pretty cool. At least they're gonna get like some mainstream exposure.
I heard a Brock interview. I just see the transcripts of it. It might have been that one talking about how he doesn't know where all of his belts are and
Yes, that all he cares about is money.
yeah, which is hey, at least he's honest about it.
Yeah, because some people, oh, I love my belts, and he's, yeah, I don't give a crap.
Yeah, he's like I don't know where they are, but that's he's at least he's honest about it. He's in for the money, and not like Bret Hart, who's got a shrine in his house dedicated to himself.
I respect Brett, but my God, his biggest mark is himself.
Yeah, I actually, if I was that famous, I'd probably do that myself too, though.
It's just like some of the weird stuff. Like, remember when Tyson Kidd got hurt by Samoa Joe? He was calling Samoa Joe reckless and all this other stuff.
Oh yeah, and you see the move. It was not. It was just a fluke.
Yeah.
It wasn't. He didn't botch anything. It just happened.
It's like the 1 in a million, thing. Because Joe's been doing that move, 15 years?
That's his move, yeah. And he obviously knows how to do it.
Yeah, it's just a freak accident. That's why I was like, come on, Brett. So Joe's been doing this for however long. He's not going to intentionally try and hurt somebody.
Yeah, I definitely like Bret Hart, though. I seen him when I was a little kid, when he was wrestling for Stampede Wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, they used to come to our town, Stampede, once every 6 weeks.
Cool.
And that other wrestler that I told you about, with the fake guys,
Yeah,
they would come to the high school gym. Stampede would come to our arena, and basically our population of our town would double.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, our people from out of town would all come in, and yeah, I seen him wrestle a guy called Diamond Timothy Flowers, and he pile drived him on a table. It was awesome. Yeah, I seen Davey Boy Smith there. I seen the Dynamite Kid. It was great.
When I was about, I'll say, this was in not, I was 95. I'll say I was like 10 or 11 years old. WWE, when they were really hurting, when WCW was kicking their ass, and they used to run high schools, and they came to like the local high school here, which is about like 10 minutes from me. I'll never forget it because they had like Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall come, and like the main event was like the Undertaker against Adam Bomb.
Oh yeah, Adam Bomb. I like him.
And I think it was a casket match, if I remember correct. So that was always kind of cool.
So they actually had their big name guys there.
Yeah, we're talking when they were really hurting.
Cool. So, that's cool, though.
Oh, yeah. I always remember that. And then they would come back periodically. The last time they came was when Bam. It was the main event was Bam Bam against King Kong Bundy, and they literally broke the ring.
Oh man, yeah, those two big boys.
Because like they did a move or something like a splash, and you just saw the whole like four corners just go.
cut to the end. To the
end. It was hilarious. All right, but anyway, next we have, I don't even know why we had this match. It was Callisto versus Connor from the one half of the Ascension.
Yeah, the only reason was to bring Ryback out at the end there to stand in front. Man, Ryback looks huge compared to Callisto, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I feel sad for Callisto just for the simple fact that I really don't care about this match.
Yeah, exactly. I like Callisto.
Yeah.
And it's just Ryback. He's just too Goldberg. And now even they got him dressing like Goldberg again.
Yeah, he had got away from the chance, like finally broke away, and now they're pulling him all right back in.
I think the only thing I think they can do one day is sign Goldberg, get him some big money, come in and lose to him, and then that's the only way they're gonna.
And then maybe they'll finally shut up.
But he's got potential, but like I listened to him when he was on. I think it was Chris Jericho's podcast, and Jericho basically said, "Hey, go for it, say what you want." He basically did a promo talking about how he grew up and all that. It was really good. And Jericho said, you should try that in the ring. And sure enough, next week he came out and he basically did that promo. Oh. And it was good. It was actually pretty good. Next week, obviously the people that were in charge didn't like it.
Wasn't it when he was feuding with Bray Wyatt was when he did that?
Could be. He talked about his injuries and his life.
Yeah, that was good.
Because it was real.
Yeah.
It wasn't the scripted promo. And another thing I liked, that really hurt him is when they turned him babyface against heel against Cena.
Mm-hmm.
When he was big. Like all he had to do was go in the corner and flex his arm. And you'd hear the crowd, feed me more.
Yeah.
Well, that's big. He didn't have to do anything. He had the crowd on his side. And then I think CM Punk got hurt, maybe?
Somebody,
Yeah, and so they threw, oh, we got to put Ryback heel now. And that put him right back to square one.
Yeah, and then he had the team with Axel, and he was just going nowhere with that.
Yeah, that was pretty pathetic. But if you're on TV, at least you're on TV.
I mean, I'm not going to bash him, but when I look at him, I just think of a big steroid user, and I hate to say that, but that's just how I feel when I look at him.
Well, there's no way a human body could get like that without. Well, I don't know. We don't know,
but I'm just, when I look at him, I'm like, I don't think that's possible to get like that.
How does he pass a test? I don't know. You know, they fine people for smoking a bit of pot, but Jesus, steroids. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. The next thing we had was your favorite part of the night when Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar came out and did their little promo.
Well, you can't go wrong with Paul Heyman.
Absolutely not.
And they were sure cheering Brock. And you see him at the front of the stage. He's got this smirk on his face. He's trying to be like the angry look, but he's like, "Yeah, they really like me."
Yeah, he's just like, I can't help it.
Yeah. What are they gonna do? Fire him?
Yeah, really. And it was cool to see Ambrose come out and then kind of get that whole pile of like weapons that he's like dragging off with him.
My question is, who puts all the weapons under the ring?
Yeah, there you go.
It's like, who has that job at the WWE?
Hey, that'd be a cushy job. Just throw some random stuff under there.
Well, he got his chainsaw and he got his barbed wire bat, and then he screwed up and he went to throw the kendo stick in there and it bounced up and went into the ring.
Yeah, and then
so Brock grabbed it.
Brock grabs it. He's sitting there like a friggin' I don't know what you want to call it, like a jumping, rabbit or something on steroids. But I'm just like, my God, that's frightening.
Looked like a toothpick in his hand.
Yeah, I know you don't watch SmackDown, but I saw him on SmackDown last week. Brock hit Ambrose with that Singapore cane like 3 times. And
I did see that. Yeah.
Ooh, did I cringe? I was just like, my God.
Yeah, there's no gimmicking that or faking that, is there?
Well,
and I'm sure Ambrose is like, you got to hit me hard.
Well, that's the other thing that I was just like, he's got to throw it with like such force that's what made me cringe.
Because, yeah, those Singapore canes, they don't look like much, but they're bamboo, I think.
Yeah.
And string together with something, those are.
Yeah, did you
those
see?
Are actually.
Good.
They're actually used as weapons. Yeah.
Did you see Lesnar when he actually Germaned Strowman?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he did that on SmackDown. He Germaned Rowan and Strowman. I was shocked. I was like, how in God's name did he pick him up? I'll have to link it to you after the show.
That's quite impressive. Well, he did it to Big Show a few times, so
I was just amazed because what happened, Strowman had him like he was going to German Brock, and Brock like kind of slid out under him and got behind him and Germaned him, and I was like, my God.
He's definitely one strong boy, isn't he?
That's why I'm like, I would be terrified if I had to get in a ring with him.
Well, just make sure your insurance is paid up.
You're not kidding. All right. Next we had, and Nixie missed this, so she probably went nuts when she saw this morning.
Yeah.
Paige versus Emma.
That's the first time I've seen the heel Emma.
I like heel Emma.
I liked the old Emma too, though. I thought it was different. I was the only one that actually liked it, I think.
The only thing I was annoyed with was that in NXT, when she's been heel Emma, they've really let her kind of let loose and do her thing. That match was just kind of meh, because they just let her do like hair pulling and all. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, that's how it is. NXT, they have so much more freedom, so.
Yeah. The other thing about this match I was impressed with was the ending where Lana got her leg up and almost karate kicked Paige right in the face.
Yeah, she's definitely getting better, isn't she?
I
She's
was
her
like,
training
wow.
is definitely sinking in.
Yeah, I was impressed with that. So she must have been training for quite a while. And Emma won this match because of Lana, where she kicked Paige in the face, and then all heck broke loose, where all the girls started fighting each other, and then of all people, Eva Marie comes out to even the score with the good guys and gets booed even worse than Roman Reigns.
Definitely, they weren't expecting that. I don't think. I was
No,
like, why is she coming out all for the good guys, good girls? It's
and,
like,
and it was funny because she like stood there for a second to kind of like soak in like a possible cheer or something.
yeah, well, I'm sure that she was told to. And I was thinking, okay, maybe this is going to be that she's going to come out and then turn and actually join the heels, and then Bailey was going to come out. I was thinking,
Yeah, and then
but
it
then
just
that would
never
then
came.
yeah, but then that would be odd numbers again. They would have to have another person.
It was just really strange.
It was strange. It just don't they know? I guess not.
Well, it's funny because before I came on here, I had sent CB a message, and it was WWE officials were shocked, quote unquote, shocked, when Eva Marie was booed instead of cheered. They thought it was only an NXT thing. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, your hardcore viewers are the ones that watch NXT.
Yeah.
They like the wrestling instead of the sports entertainment. Although I do have to admit, I don't watch NXT as much as I should,
I
even though I
don't.
got the network.
I don't know a lot either because my problem is sometimes if they tape the shows, like they tape like 3, 4 shows all at once, and then I'll go and look at the results, and I'm like, I don't really feel like watching now, you know?
Yeah, I stay away from the spoilers if I can, because I don't. It's like reading the last page of a book first. It's like
Right, yeah, it makes sense. But this was just odd because like even the total divas that were supposed to be the good girls didn't look like they wanted her there.
no, nobody wants her, and obviously she's going to get pushed down our throats. If
Here's the
she's the special surprise, obviously they got big hopes for her, don't they?
I'll tell you a funny story. I was listening, and I asked you this the other day, a part of Don Tony and Kevin Castle's show, and Kevin Castle goes, he says, well, he says, if you really want to make Roman Reigns a heel, like say they turn him heel, he's like, I have the perfect person to be his manager to give Roman Reigns nuclear heat. He says, put Eva Marie with Roman Reigns. I said, oh my God, that would be terrible.
It would be terrible, but they would definitely get booed out of the building. And
Oh, that's
if
what
you're
I
a heel,
meant. Where
that's what you want.
yeah, they would just
Yeah,
eat him alive.
but that's what you want as a heel.
Yeah, because she has, even though Nixie doesn't agree with it, she has nuclear heat.
Yeah, well, Nixie's pretty stubborn on certain things, and she doesn't understand that getting booed is what you want.
If you're a heel, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want.
It means people are actually giving a damn as opposed to like we were just talking about on Raw last week where people were just sitting on their hands like, oh, we don't give a shit.
Yeah, get on to the next
Yeah.
match.
All right. Next we had the 6-man. It was Zayn, Ziggler, and Sin Cara versus Stardust, Miz, and Owens. This was actually a pretty good match.
It was really good.
And it was funny because the crowd looked like they were getting bored during this match.
Oh, I think they were just having fun, getting into it, having fun. Because I don't know. Some people said they looked bored, but I don't know. How could you be bored?